Hello. Hope you all are doing good. I'm super excited about today. We're going to be talking about your Instagram glow up. So, just waiting for Jada right now. Sorry we're a little bit late today. Had some tech issues. I feel so bad. I had a Zoom meeting right before this and accidentally ended the whole meeting. Ah. So Carlton, if you're watching this, I hope you forgive me. Sorry about that. There she is. Hey, Jada. Okay, I've just sent you a cool. Hopefully that works. Hi. You look so pretty today. How are you?
You too. I'm like early for me, but I'm like, yes.
Oh, all good. Thank you.
Yes. I heard you saying you was having tech issues.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I had a Zoom meeting right before this, and I feel so bad because I accidentally ended the meeting for everyone. There was like 20 people. I was like, oh
Oh my
gosh.
gosh, I know when that happens, you forget to like change the host. It's like, wait.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oops.
You're like, it's okay. We're human. It's normal. Stuff happens.
Oh no, totally. Now it's out there, and I'm just trying to laugh about it. But thank you so much for being on here today.
Yeah, no, I always love talking to you. I'm like having these talks are so like beneficial and they're so helpful for everyone. So I'm totally
Yeah,
down. Or no.
definitely. Let me make sure this is on Do Not Disturb once. Oh, okay,
Oh,
cool.
me
Very
too.
good. Cool. Can you hear me? Uh-oh, it's just spinning. Let's see. Hmm. Jada, can you hear me? Oh no. Let's see. Let me see if I can bring you back somehow. Oh, okay. Let's try this again. There's always something. Okay, hopefully this works this time. All right, it says connecting. Second time's charm. Yay! We're
Second
back.
time.
See,
So
it's technology. Oh my
I
gosh.
was being smart. I heard you say do not disturb and on my phone. So I was like, oh yeah, me too. But what does that do, guys? It takes off the internet.
Oh no.
She's just spinning right now.
Oh no.
No, all good.
All good. Well, we're back. It works out. Well, thank you so much. So I am live here in Denver, you guys. I've made it back to the States safe and sound. And I'm live here with Jada from sunny California. Super jealous.
Yes, I'm an
um,
OC, guys.
I know, right? Anyways, thanks again for joining me for another one of these boss interviews. I'm just super excited to feature so many amazing individuals doing amazing things and just looking to add way more value to all of you young professionals and entrepreneurs. So I'm super excited about today's guest. So Jada and I, we met during the pandemic. I think we met at Elaine's one day retreat. So shout out to our mastermind coach, or excuse me, inner circle coach, Elaine.
Yes, you know she will get on us about that.
I know, right? So anyways, I'd love to introduce you all to the lovely Jada. So meet Jada Sinclair, aka Spiritual Marketing Goddess. She is the CEO of Glow Vibe Social Consulting, an Instagram branding and marketing agency. She specializes in helping overwhelmed and busy entrepreneurs create an aligned Instagram marketing strategy that generates leads 24/7 without having a huge audience or spending all of your time on Instagram. So after closing 31K in sales through Instagram and being on track to hit six figures within less than 6 months of going full-time in her own business, she decided to show others how they can monetize their passions online to do the same. Through her coaching, consulting, social media setups, and engagement management, she has been able to take Instagram management off her clients' to-do lists and simplify the way that they approach online marketing. So with all that being said, thank you so much for being here on this Q&A today. You are such a boss.
I'm like, you too, girl. Thank you for having me.
Yay. So first of all, can you tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got started? Like, how did you end up in the social media space?
Yeah, it was actually very interesting. When I first got started, I used to sell cars actually, and
No way.
I come from the retail space, and I used to model, and then I got into selling cars because they understood that to be able to sell was about personality
Mhm.
and bringing in the retail baby. So I was super into like uncapped commissions and how can I make this happen? But I got sick, so I was developing like pre-stroke symptoms and complex
Mhm.
migraines. So I needed to be home, or I needed to be able to have income on the computer, because it would happen. I didn't have any control over it at that point in time.
Mm.
So I would just be out for 3 days, and it would suck. So it pushed me to get into like, what can I do online? And I was already good at Instagram, and I was like modeling. So of course I knew how to grow followers.
Yeah.
But then I started just like, I was like, I want to be a mindset coach, because I always help people in their mindset and with different things like that. But I knew I wasn't yet ready to like make it a job or a profession. I just knew I was always helping people. So I started posting actually on Instagram, giving out success quotes, mindsets, and kind of building a community. And from there, I had someone reach out and was like, hey, your page is pretty. Like, could you do that for me? And I'm like,
That's
really?
awesome.
So I literally like closed a $600 like sale without having a business in my like DMs. And I was like, oh, well, let's figure this out. So I literally like got myself, me, I'm all about knowledge. So I got myself a social media coach, got myself into trainings, and like started learning the whole world and how to like manage people's accounts, but also how to do that, the back end business part of it. And it's
Mhm.
been this whole beautiful journey.
Oh, that's
So
so amazing. So, what would you say is the favorite thing about the work that you do now?
the work that I do now, so what I do now is I combine in the energy. So we're all about marketing, and I get that. But people
Mhm.
are always like, there's a cookie cutter strategy, or you have to do this, or you have to be on this platform. And I'm more like, but what feels right for your energy? Or
Yeah.
what's good for you? Because I've tried every marketing tactic you can think of before I got successful. And then it finally took me to understand that it was my mindset and my energy on
Mhm.
how I was approaching stuff. And that needed to be changed. It wasn't necessarily the strategy. It's like once I
Mhm.
got in tune with this, my intuition, the strategy kind of just comes.
Mhm.
And that's the part that I needed. So for me, that's the beautiful part when I'm talking to someone and it's about marketing or business, but it hits their soul and it hits their inner, and it helps them like fix
Mhm.
something. That's where the glow up comes from, like glow vibes. I'm like, I want to help you glow up from the inside out. So yes,
Mhm.
it's your marketing, but I want to, even with your marketing, your front end, I want to help you get your back end so that you're not just looking pretty, but that you're
Yeah.
actually profitable.
That's amazing. Well, it's got to feel good too, right? That's
Yes.
so part of it. That's awesome. So, I know I'm super excited about today's topic. So, obviously, like your Instagram glow up. What would you say are the most important elements of an IG glow up?
Good morning. I saw a morning pop in there. But the most important elements to me of a glow up is your foundation and the strategy.
Mhm.
So when I'm talking to everyone, and Monique, you always hear me saying this, I'm like, before you get into posting or worrying about the
Yeah.
colors and all this, take a step back. Let's come down to
Mhm.
your foundation of why are you even on Instagram? Because
Yeah.
even though I love Instagram, I use it. I also use Facebook. There's
Mhm.
also LinkedIn. I'm not telling you to be on everything, but you do need to know where your ideal client is on and what kind of content do you feel comfortable sharing, and that's going to make the most sense to hit your target audience to let them know that you are the person to solve their problem. Or if you have a product, you have the product and so many people are into it and it's so hype and it's so awesome, and they
Mhm.
see all this like these social proof of it actually being the case. So
Mhm.
for me, that's where you should start at is, what are your goals and what business metrics are you tracking? Because I'll
Mhm.
ask someone, I'm like, what's your goals with Instagram? They're like, I want to grow 10K followers. And granted, I have 10K followers. I
Yeah.
get it. We all want the swipe up button,
Yep.
but honestly, I don't even use the swipe up button like that. I'm using my poll button a lot more.
Yeah.
So I'm
No,
like, no, focus
totally.
on this. So I know you probably experienced that same thing.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, I'm so glad that you brought that up too, because I feel like so many people, especially like, when they think about like their goals and stuff, they automatically start thinking about like, oh, the followers and likes and all that stuff too. But I think the foundation is like the most important. But you've also talked about too, like how like you can still grow, you can still have profitability without having a massive account. Like that's still so possible too.
Yes, and we've seen examples of that. I have people that I know have 2,000 followers. They're making 6K.
Mhm.
I know somebody who had less than 10 and he was making like 15,000 a month. So I'm
Wow.
like, no, it's just about, and then I'm like a boss at sales and knowing like how to make sure you have stuff together. So I'm like,
Yeah, totally. Hey
Hi,
everyone, thanks so much
Jamal.
for tuning in. So for right now, I guess for a lot of people that, are, they've gotten to a point where they have figured out the profitability piece,
Hmm.
but, they do want to start, getting their content seen in front of more eyeballs. So they do want to be able to boost engagement, boost followers. Do you think it's harder now to break 1,000 followers?
Okay, so yes and no. It is harder now to break 1,000 followers because there is more people on Instagram. So naturally,
Mm-hmm.
there's less people seeing your content. And then right now, we're still dealing with all the election. I like to call it the election
Mm-hmm.
show. So Instagram is still blocking hashtag reach. They're like blocking
Oh,
certain reach on certain things. So I
interesting.
have noticed my reach has gone down. My profile does grow. One of my other clients, they actually grew 5,000 followers in 5 months during the pandemic. But the strategy was very strategic with a lot of video. So having
Mm-hmm.
to know like who your audience was and doing it, or I'm not a fan of reels, but I have a product-based business and as well. So reels were good on those kind of things. So if you're like
Mm-hmm.
growing now, the reason why they're pushing reels so hard is because it basically has its own like it has its own avenue where they're like pushing it for people to come see it. So if you notice when you look on your home feed, it has its own section now and they're actually pushing it. So your reach with reels lasts 2 weeks and your normal post reach only lasts 48 hours. So that's why you see people's reels are like, how are they getting found? Like you're growing. Like my other client, she did a reel and she grew 400 followers and had 2,000 views within 48 hours.
Wow.
So it just depends. I'm like, you guys, honestly, it's about testing. It's
Yeah.
about testing, trying stuff, and not getting thrown off if it doesn't work. It's just like, let's see the analytics because what may work for my account won't work for yours. Like for me, stories is not really the thing that keeps me going. I
Mm-hmm.
have to make sure I have a recent post on my page and I can throw stories up,
Mm-hmm.
but my people come to my feed first rather than my story.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I guess for like a lot of young professionals and entrepreneurs that are just like, starting to make a name for themselves, what advice do you have for them, if they're trying to just like get seen? Like, I guess like, you said a lot of testing, but how do they know where to start? Like, should I do reels? Should I do more stories? Should I do
Yeah.
feeds? Like,
What do I go with? So, okay, so if you're a person just getting started, the quickest way to build trust is it's always going to be video. So I would
mm,
suggest that you
great
map
advice.
out what topics, whatever your zone of genius is, what is the pain point that people are experiencing. So if you can get super clear on the pain point, the problem, and how your service helps solve that, the message and the position of that, you can have the most suckiest Instagram page ever. But if that value is like there and you're
Yeah.
driving people to like, hey, book a call or download my freebie, then that's going to be the fastest way to get reach. If you're going to have like a show or an experience where people have a chance to like connect with you, because people are stuck at home and we want something more different than we've always been getting. So if you've never
Yeah.
been online and you have nothing and you're just posting photos, it may not be strong enough because it's just not,
Mm-hmm.
it's not fast enough to hit your person.
No, that's great advice. Like, I know everyone's afraid of video as well. Like,
Trust me,
what
even
tips do you have for
I'm
that?
like, even me being in front of audience, I was telling someone, I was like, I actually like talking in person. Like, I can
Yeah.
talk in front of a group rather than me doing a video
Yeah. Yeah.
or going live. So if you're one of those persons who are like, I don't like doing video, I'm like, hey, don't do live. Go
Yeah.
read, like, script out your video and practice it in your own like environment and then
Mhm.
push play.
I love that.
Hey.
Love that. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. So I know we're talking a lot about followers, and I know you are also a mindset queen. So from a mindset perspective, why is it so important not to get caught up on these vanity metrics? What are vanity metrics for the newbies that don't know what that means?
Yes, so vanity metrics is I want more followers, I want more likes, or even I want more comments. Like I'm not getting
Yeah.
enough reach. And I'm gonna tell you a story why it's not so important because when you focus on the vanity metrics, you lose the focus on why you're doing your business.
Yeah.
And then
So
it
true.
distracts you from your whole strategy. I always tell the story of like one, I was used to getting between 500 and 1,000 likes on my posts last year. And then I noticed this year it went from like 50 through 200. So
Mhm.
again, not really caring, right? But because my income 5 times this year. So like that
Wow.
was my metric I'm looking at. And even though I
That's
started
amazing.
posting less, you know what I mean? So I'm like, that was what I was looking at. But I literally posted a photo, you guys, and I got 24, I want to say like 15 or 24 likes. And that could hit someone like, what? I used to get 500,
Yeah.
1,000? Come on. But I left it on my page because I got 3 leads from it and one converted into a sale that was over 1,000.
That's
And
amazing.
it's crucial to understand that there's content that you're going to post on your page that may not get the likes, but it's what your audience needs to see in order to build trust and to buy from you.
Mhm.
So you getting stuck with seeing someone else getting 1,000 followers. Honestly, you guys, I've managed a lot of people's accounts. Not going to say names, but I know people who bought followers. Like I know people who just had numbers going up because they just needed it for their brand. And I see people like really like put their whole business strategy on just that because they see someone else doing it. And I'm like, you don't even know the back end that doesn't even matter.
It's so true. Well, and like I think they did this article. I can't remember. It was a big one of those big publications. They did this article about an influencer who had like 1 million followers, and she couldn't sell a single $20 T-shirt.
And she was like, my followers. And I was like, no, it's not your
Mhm.
followers, because your
Yeah,
followers probably, because especially girls, like on my personal page, I have more guys. So I
yeah,
know, like, I have to, if I'm going to promote a brand, I have to promote it a certain way. Otherwise, it needs to
yeah,
go on this page because I have more
yeah.
women on this page.
Exactly. Yeah. Know your metrics, guys. Pay attention to that. So what about for the older generation that don't truly understand like how to be on Instagram? How would you explain like monetizing on Instagram to them?
So for the older generation, it's funny because I get a lot of like older clients who are like, Jada, like, I don't know Insta. I don't feel bad. I'm asking you, where's the story
Totally.
button? And I'm like, honestly, I love actually catering to that audience. I cater to the audience who needs to be on Instagram to reach their audience, to reach their
Mhm.
ideal client, but
Yeah.
they don't want to be on there.
Yep.
So so I'm like, perfect. The way that I do that is I help them set up a system. I'm like, if you can pre-plan out what you're doing, you won't have to be there so much. And most people, if they're not on Instagram, they're on Facebook. And I know
Mhm.
they sound like they're different worlds, but if you know how to publish a post on Facebook, you
Yeah.
can publish a post on Instagram.
I love that. It's so true. I feel like everybody makes it different, like more difficult and stuff too. And I think sometimes people are just like they resist change.
You know, and I'm like, I think for all of
100%.
us. Wait, I've been
Totally.
doing it this way. No.
Exactly. That's so good. Okay, so last question. I always love to end these Q&As with action steps. So what is the one action step you would recommend today to these young professionals or small business owners as it relates to their Instagram glow up?
So the one tip that I would give you guys is that, you know, seeing that everything has changed and people are in different spaces, I would say to connect with your actual audience to make
Mhm.
sure that you are giving them the content and the stuff that they need. And I
Oh,
say this because this year I started off doing something completely different. And because of where the world went, I was constantly surveying my audience, seeing what they needed and seeing what they wanted. And that helped me see that what I needed to promote and what my content needed to be was different.
yeah.
So,
No, so key. Hey, Sabri.
I agree.
That's awesome. No, that's the perfect way to end it too, because it's just like I feel like we get so caught up on just like everything, you know, like the metrics, the vanity metrics, and just trying to like, you know, look good. I feel like too often times people spend too much time trying to look good or to try to avoid looking bad when really it's like you just need to serve your audience. Like,
Like, no, honestly, it's so simple. It's just like serve your audience, especially if you're in the point where it's like, I need to make money.
yeah.
It's a different category if you're needing to make money or if you're needing to build your brand.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So true. Well, girl, thank you so much for being here on this live today. It's just been so nice hearing more about you and your story and just all the wisdom and guidance you can give. So, for people with more questions or just wanting to get more information about how to work with you, how can they get in touch?
You can always follow me at Glow Vibe Social. I actually run my account, so it's okay. You can DM me if you have any questions about like where do I get started. And we do open social media office hours normally once a month. So if you just want to kind of jump into a call to get help where you're at, I feel like it's much easier to do that than read something.
Mhm.
So feel free if you want to reach out to me and you want to jump in and join one of those.
Yeah, well, and guys, I highly recommend it. Like, I've attended a couple of them, and they're so good. Like, just so much gold in there. So definitely attend.
I appreciate
um,
you, girl.
Of course. So this has been amazing. And yeah, for everybody that's tuning in or catching the replay, hope you took a lot of notes or, you know, like as always, please let me know your thoughts and feedback. Or if you'd like me to have Jada on again sometime, I know she's a wealth of knowledge. So I know like I'm just trying to keep us on time today. Like that's been my problem all day. I'm just like late.
But you're perfect right now. You done caught it up.
Yes, exactly right. No, but this has been awesome and it's always been such a pleasure. But any final thoughts from you, Jada?
No, I just want to thank you, of course, for sharing your platform and for allowing me the space to be able to share and give back. And hi, everyone, again who's joining.
Yay. Sounds good. Well, thank you so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.
Bye.